Hi guys, my name is Khoza, and welcome to yet another YouTube video where I share some of my side hustles with you. So in today's video, we'll be going through rev.com, and that is rev.com. Okay, so basically rev.com is an online, international online company that offers speech to text services, and that is through captioning and transcribing. Okay, so captioning is basically when you put captions to some videos, right? So say for instance you're watching your favorite TV series or whatever, and you see those captions at the bottom or the text at the bottom there. So that's through the through the work of a captioner. So that's what a captioner does. Okay, so what you basically have to do is you have to make sure that the text is in sync with the voices, or all the frames in that video, and it's under each speaker or whatever. So that's what a captioner does. And then a transcriber is basically, to some extent, similar to captioning, but you aren't really captioning in the sense that you won't be syncing, your text to a video. Okay, so you'll just be listening or watching a video and listening to whatever the speakers are saying, or listening to an audio clip. Okay, then after that you basically write everything down that they said. Okay, so that's what the difference is between transcribing and captioning. Okay. Their pay is, so what they've stated on their website is you can get from as little as 30 cents to $1 and I think 10 cents on per audio minute, right? So what that means is, so if we listen to your or look at what you've transcribed, for just 1 minute of that, for 1 minute's work, this is how much you'll be getting. Okay, so yeah, that's basically how it works. And as I've said, they have a ranking system. So with the ranking system, you get paid more, right? So now let's go through the application process. So the first thing is to obviously go on their website and complete the online application. So you kind of need a PC or a laptop to do this, because their software is not really designed for cell phones. Not too sure about tablets or iPads, because I've never really used one for that purpose, but I'd really strongly advise that you use a PC for this purpose. So yeah, you'll just go online, input your details, so things like your name, surname, cell phone number, I think, as well as your email. Then you will move on to the next step. So in basically the following steps, you would, or the subsequent steps you'd have to take, you will firstly do an English proficiency test. So what that is basically a series of, I think there were multiple choice questions, where they'll give you a phrase, and they'll ask you to maybe fill in the missing, spaces with the correct word, and stuff like that, right? They could ask you to, so they'll give you a sentence in direct speech, then they want you to change it to indirect speech, right? So stuff like that. So just to test just to test your knowledge of the English language, and especially the grammar laws and stuff like that. So things that are like, what do you call them? I think not synonyms, but your homonyms. Yes, homonyms. So they could maybe give you an option like, for this sentence in this context, which word would be correct to use, and they give you like a series of homonyms. Then you have to select the correct one that fits the context. So that's basically what goes on with the proficiency test. Then after that step, I think you'll then, so it'll be marked online, and you'll get your results instantly, whether you've passed or not. Then you can move on to the next step. So what happens after is you will then have an opportunity to go through the style guide that I told you about, just all the requirements and what's required from you as a transcriber. So you'll go through the style guide, and then you can then move on to the next step, which is to now test your transcribing skills, right? So you'll have access to their software and you'll be given a clip that you have to transcribe. So when I did it, I think it was a guy, so it was kind of like an interview at a factory or plant where they were producing something. I don't remember what it was, but it was kind of like a science thing that they were doing, science related stuff. But you basically have to transcribe the whole conversation, just check if the speakers' names are there, as I mentioned before, speakers' names, timestamps. So make sure that you for the stuff you're transcribing, make sure that it corresponds with the time at which the stuff was said. Just make sure if there are some filler words, then you omit them if it's non-verbatim, verbatim. Then stuff like that, right? Then just one more thing. I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but this is where you also have to use your research skills, right? So if you look at a word like cow, okay, so if I say to you cow, that is a common noun, so you can just spell it with small letters, right? We all know what a cow is. It's an animal, right? But cow could also be an abbreviation for something, okay? So if it's an abbreviation for something, then you need to use cow in that context. So if COW is what cow is and it stands for something, then when you're transcribing, you have to write COW in capital letters or however it has to be written, right? So you have to take account such things. So I must make sure that I use the correct spelling and it fits the context. Cow could mean something else depending on the context, stuff like that. So you need to be aware of that. Okay, so yeah, that's basically how the application process works. So after you're done with that, you'll then submit and then you'll just wait for feedback. After the feedback, so they'll communicate with you via email and let you know that, okay, you've passed the test and you are now a transcriber. Welcome to the team. So after that, you just register your account and you'll have access to all the jobs. Okay, so some of the pros and cons or things you have to be aware of is that transcribing, as much as it has somewhat good pay, it takes a lot of time, I must say. I think if you're maybe transcribing, in my experience, I wouldn't really take audio clips that are really long because I knew it would take me quite literally a day or two, right? So if I did like a 12-minute audio clip, it would maybe take me something like 3 hours, right? At the very least 3 hours. And I think it depends on your personality or your traits or whatever, and other difficulties you may have or encounter. So you need to make sure that you've got a really good internet connection, because then you might struggle with hearing the sound at times. So you want to take care of those technical difficulties, and then if you're someone who's like an overthinker or whatever, and who wants to produce work of good quality, that's what they need, yes, definitely. But I think if you're an overthinker, then you might hear just one word, because people have different accents, and some accents are really strong and stuff like that. So at times you think to yourself, this is what I'm hearing, but it's not. Then your brain's like, no, that's not what it is, it's this, so you're battling with all these ideas, but you need to make sure that it fits the context, right? And at times it might not even fit the context, because remember, what you're doing here is transcribing. You're literally saying whatever the other person is saying, and they could be speaking nonsense, but you should be transcribing all that, right? It's just things you need to be aware of, Wuti. There might be some technical difficulties, you might have your own problems. I have problems with my hearing at times, so that also, I guess, contributed to all that. Okay, so as I've said, good pay, and everything else. Just with the application process, Rev is a really good company, it's a reputable company, but I must say that not everyone makes the cut, right? I think I read a review a few years ago saying I think like 1 in 5 people get accepted. It just so happens like that. But I mean, it's still something you can try and pursue. There's other companies that you can look at. I think what I'm trying to do with this platform is to give you some ways you can make some money, but you also need to do your own research and find out which other companies offer the same services, maybe for better pay, or they don't have strict requirements and stuff like that. So yeah, just be aware of that. Otherwise, I think just to sum it up, the working environment is really great. You get feedback on all your projects. So once you've submitted something, as I said, they will score you and you'll get feedback on some of your projects. They'll tell you that, okay, so with this project, we gave you this rating. You need to work on this, and that. Otherwise, great job. Okay. You've got a support team that you can reach out to if you've got any problems. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so this is the website you're going to use to make your application. So it's rev.com/freelancers, and then you'll just scroll down to this side over here, and then just populate with all your details. So I'm just going to use this. And then, so yeah, I've already populated all my details there, my name, surname, email address, as well as the position I'd like to apply for. So, I mean, if you want to be a captioner, then you'll just click on the captioner role. But for the purpose of this video, we'll go with the transcriptionist role. So as you can see, there's a very long waiting list. So you might have to wait for some time to get this job, but it's worth applying for. Then you'll move on to the next page. Then on the next page, you'll just follow all the prompts, answer all the questions. There is, I think, an essay question as well. Just something like, what were you doing over the last holidays or whatever. So it's just basic stuff like that, but you will still have to do the English test. I think in subsequent steps you'll get that, and then you'll then move on. So after you're done with your application, you'll then wait for their response. And one of the emails they might send is your ID verification. So you'll just need your ID and, as I said, a camera, just so that they can verify that this is you. And then once you are done with that, you'll probably be accepted, and then you can maybe just register your account and then start with your job. Then I thought I'd just share this screenshot with you as well. So this is one of the jobs I did with them, but obviously this was a long time ago. But they gave me, so this is the feedback you'll be getting after each job. So the point system for your accuracy and formatting. So for this job, it was a 30-minute project, and those were my ratings, and then they told me what I could have improved on, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for this video. Just one thing I forgot to mention is that so after you have been accepted, you'll go through some verification. So they need your ID for that. So you could be from any country, basically, as long as you will produce your ID from that country. And I saw on their website, I don't remember doing this. I maybe did do it, but it was a really long time ago. I think I did my application in 2021, so I don't remember half the stuff that I did. But apparently you also need a webcam for the verification process. So you might just have to take a video, or they'll be doing something with your webcam just to verify that it really is you. So just be aware of that as well. I think I've if you don't have a webcam, I think in my previous video, not previous video, but the one the other side hustle video has a webcam app that I use on my phone. So maybe try look at that as well and see if that could maybe help you. Okay, so yes, that's it for today's video. I hope to see you next time. Yeah, have a great festive season, I suppose. And yeah, see you next time.